In this session, we'll try to uh, implement a custom pipe, and we'll see how to use a custom pipe in an Angular application. Okay, so what we will do here is we'll try to create a table of data and try to sort the columns using a custom pipe. Okay, there may be some name column, there may be some email column, there may be some any text column or number columns. So those columns will try to sort using the custom pipe. Okay, so first let me create a custom pipe. So how do I create the custom pipe? So inside the app folder, ng generate pipe, and the name of the pipe I will give it as sort. Okay, immediately two files are created. One of them is sort.pipe.ts. So we'll go to that file. You can see here two files are created. So this is the pipe file where we need to write the logic for sorting the data, and in the app.module.ts we can see in the declarations the sort pipe is automatically declared. Okay, so once we create that pipe, it will be declared here automatically by the Angular application. Okay, fine. So we'll come to this later on. So first let us create the table. So I already have some data with me, some JSON data. This data we will use for the displaying the table. Okay, so let's copy this first, copy this, and I'll create a property. What property I will use? I'll use it as users. Okay, users is of type any array, and it contains this. Okay, so yeah, so here what are the things we have? We have id, we have, so it is an array of objects. So each object is having a lot of data like id, name, username, email, address, phone, website, company, like that. Many things are there. So we will only display some of the properties, not everything. Let's make a small table and try to sort the columns. Okay, so first we'll create the table. So here, so for the table we need to iterate this users array. Here I'll create a table first. This table I'll give a border. Okay, I have a tr. Inside the tr I have th. So what are the headings I'll use? I'll use name. So let's say I'll use the name, I'll use the username, I'll use phone and email. Okay, here we have email, here we have phone. So let me use this 4 fields: name, username, phone, and email. Okay, so first th is name. Then the next th is, so for th I'm going to use name, username, phone, and email. Okay, so this is the first tier. The next tier will have the data. So this tier we need to iterate. Okay, so here I'll use the ng for is equal to let user of users. Okay, and then inside the tier I'll just show the data in tds. So first td will be, so what are the properties that we have here? So each object is user, so it will be user dot name, user dot username, user dot phone, and user dot email. Okay, those are the things I need to use. So let me write here user dot name. This one I need to make 4 copies. So after the name, I'll have username, then user dot phone and user dot email. Okay. Okay. Now save this and go to the browser. Yeah, we have got the table here. Okay. Now it is totally fine. Now what I need to do is when I click on these are headers, right? Name, username, phone, and email. So when I click on this name, it should sort this column, this name column, alphabetically. Okay. Or maybe what we can do is by default when I load the application, this should sort the data in alphabetical order. And if I click on this again, it should sort this in the reverse alphabetical. That means initially it should be A to Z, and if I click on it, it should be Z to A. Again, if I click it, again it should sort it from A to Z. In the same way, username should also be sorted. In the same way, phone numbers also should be sorted and email should also be sorted. Okay, okay, fine. So now let's try to do this. So how do we do that? For sorting this, we need a functionality. Okay, so that functionality, what it will do, it will sort the name fields, all the name fields. That means it will sort the whole array. This whole array we have, the whole array will be sorted according to the name, according to the username. Okay, so like that. So for that, we'll use the array.sort method, but we'll not directly write it as a functionality here. Rather, what we'll do is we'll use this pipe. So in this pipe, we have written nothing. We have just created the pipe, custom pipe, but we have not written any functionality over here. So what we'll do, we'll write the functionality for uh, sorting the array. Now, what will happen? Just see, when I click on this name, I have to tell the Angular application two things. First thing is which column I'm sorting. That means when I click on the name column, it should sort the name column, isn't it? It should not sort the username column. So for that, I have to tell the Angular application that I want to sort the name column. And what is the next thing? Along with the name column, I have to also tell Angular application that I want to sort it in the alphabetical order or the reverse alphabetical order. That means from A to Z or Z to A. So that means I have to give two things. That is, first thing is the column name, and the second thing is that is column field, name field, username field, phone field, or email field. And the second thing is the order. That means normal order or the reverse order. I have to tell. So from here we need to pass two things to the sort pipe. The sort pipe will take two things. First thing is the name. This name I'll name it as key. Name, username, phone, and email I'll name it as key, and I'll have the order. Okay. So for that we have to pass two things. So let me go to the sort pipe. So here what we have is we have two things here. There is a transform method here. The transform method is having something here known as value, and another thing is the args. Okay. So what will be this value? Value will be the whole array that we will pass from there. The that on which we will apply the pipe. And in this args, we have to pass those two values. That means the key and the order. Okay. Which field, that means which column, let's say name, username, phone, or email. And then one more thing will be there in the args, that is the order, normal order or reverse alphabetical order. Okay, fine. So what I'll do is I'll pass these two things in the args as an array. Okay, here it is shown here unknown array. So instead of that, I'll write here any array. Okay, here also value I'll put it as any. Okay, no problem. And here I have to write the functionality. That is, we will write the sort method here. Okay, fine. Now, and one more thing, how do we use this pipe in our template? We write something like this. So let's say we'll apply the pipe on this users array, isn't it? So what I write here is I write something like this, users, and then I use the pipe symbol and then the name of the pipe. So the name of the pipe we can see from here, name is sort, S-O-R-T. So I'll use the name here, S-O-R-T, and then after colon I have to pass the extra things if I want to pass. So here I have to pass two things, that is the as I told you, the key and the order. So I'll pass it as an array. Okay, I'll pass it as an array. So in the array, two things will be there, key and the order. Okay, but these values, key and order, when I'm writing like this, Angular is not able to understand what are these key and order. So we have to create these properties in our component file. Okay, so just after the users array, so let me do one thing. This is a big array. I can collapse it for now. Okay, so I'll create two properties. Those are key and order. So key is of type string, is initially I want to sort the name field. Okay, name column. So I'll put it as name. Okay, and then and order, initially I want the order. So order is also a string. So initially I want the order to be ascending order. So I'll write a string like ASC, that means ascending. Okay, so when I write like this, sort colon one array, inside that array key comma order, that means I'm passing the key and order to the, so what are those key and order? Name and ASC. So initially I want to sort the name column in the ascending order, so I'm passing those two values to the sort method, sort pipe. Okay, so in the sort pipe what will happen? So from here I am taking three things, the value. So sort pipe has value and args. So value is what? Value is users, args is key and order. Okay, so let's go to our sort pipe. So here what I'll do is, so they're using this structuring symbol. I will not use that. I'll take it as an array itself, no problem. Okay, okay, fine. So here I have to sort this value. What is this value? Value is the whole array. Okay, so what I'll write here is, instead of null, I'll write a return value dot sort. Return value dot sort. Inside the sort method, I'll pass a compare function. Okay, so in the compare function, we always have two values, a and b. Let's say a is of type any, b is of type any. Okay, okay. So here, what I'll write is, I have to give the conditions. That means according to what condition I want to sort it. Okay, so I write the if else condition. If, so now what I want is, in this argument I'll pass two things, isn't it? First thing is the key, second is the order. So first I'll check the order. What is the existing order when I'm click, because initially I want it in the ascending order. So, and I have to check, if it is ascending order, make it descending order. If it is descending order, make it ascending order, isn't it? Because when I click on the column again and again, it should sort it in the reverse order. So initially if it is in ascending order, if I click on name, it should sort it in the descending order, and again if I click on it, again it should sort it in the ascending order. So it should reverse the direction, that means the order. So we need to write the logic for that. So it's a if arcs of 1, if arcs of 1 equal to ASC. So now what is arcs of 1? I told you that arcs will be passed as an array. So from there, we are passing two things, key and order. So key is arcs of 0, order is arcs of 1. Okay, so if arcs of 1 is ARCS, if it is in if the string is ASC, that means now the reverse has to happen. So I'll write return A of arcs of 0. So what is a of arcs of 0? Wait, I'll tell you. Arcs of 0 is the first value, that is the key. Okay, that has come from here. So a of arcs of 0 is, if this is greater than b of arcs of 0, then, so I'm not writing here if else condition, I'm using the ternary operator. If that is the condition, then return 1, else return -1. Okay, so this is the if condition, and else return. So exactly the opposite thing I need to write here. A of arcs of 0 greater than b of arcs of 0, then turn 1 or turn -1. Okay, so that means what will happen for the first time when the component is being loaded, I want to sort it in the ascending order, isn't it? So in the beginning I have set the key as name and order as ascending. So these things will be passed to the sort pipe, and in the sort pipe what will happen, if arg arms of 1 is ascending order, so it will sort it in the ascending order, or else it will send it in the, if the arms of 1 is not ASC, that means when if I click it again, what will happen, ASC will become DSC, isn't it? So that logic I have not written here till now, I'll write it, but I'm just setting up the sort pipe. When the order will become descending order, then this part will happen. Okay, okay, now let's go back to our component and write the logic for the click event, because we have to click it, only then this will happen, isn't it? So in the th, so we'll click on the whole heading. Okay, so here what I need to do, I need to bind the method. So let's say click is equal to, I'll set some method like set key of, so for the first time I want to set it as name, and same thing will happen for all the th. In the second one, instead of name, I'll set it as username, so that the same field will be passed to the sort pipe. Okay, next one is phone, and the last one is email, isn't it? So these are nothing but these are the properties or fields of the array that we have: name, username, phone, and email. Okay, that's it. Okay, now mm, so here what will happen, when I click on the first column, that is the name column, immediately it will set the name. So for this, let me write the method. Let me declare the set key method. So in the set key method, what I will write is, so after this order, let me create a set key method. Set key method will take one argument. So let me take it as k. K will be the key that will pass from there. So now we have to write the logic for reversing the ascending and descending. Okay, so we'll just change the order, okay, according to the key. So now for the first time, if for the first time the key is already named, so if it is already same, then we just need to reverse it. Okay, so if k is equal to this dot key, that means if I click on the same column 2 times, I just need to reverse it. So how do I reverse it? So this dot order is equal to, we'll check for the condition, this dot order equal to ASC, If this is the condition, if this is true, then we need to make it DES. That means decreasing order. So I'll write DEC, ascending and descending. DES, okay, ascending and descending. And if the thing is not ascending, that means if it is descending, then we have to make it ascending. Okay. So basically we are just reversing the order. Okay. And if the key is not matching, that means if we are not clicking on the same column, if we are trying to click on some other column, then it should by default sort it according to in the alphabetical order, not the reverse alphabetical order. Okay. So we'll write an else condition here. In the else, this dot order, I'll directly make it as ASC. That means I want it in the ascending order when I click on it. Okay. And I'll change the key to this dot key equal to K. Okay. Okay. Fine. That is fine. That is enough. Okay. So now we are changing the order. We are changing the key. So after changing in the order and the key, the automatically immediately the order and the key value will be passed to the sort pipe, and they will be used here. Okay. Arcs of 0 is the key and arcs of 1 is the order. Okay. Now let's see whether it is working fine or not. So let's get back to our, so what is it saying? It is saying type unknown is the, okay. So here, huh, okay, fine. So that method was returning unknown, is of type unknown. So now, so something else is wrong. Let's see what happened. Hello. Okay. So here the mistake was for the if and the else condition, I returned the same things. Okay. So here I have to return -1 for the true condition if it is greater, and 1 for the false part. Okay. Now let's check this. So now we can see it is getting sorted according to the pipe. So now let's see. Let's reload the application. So when I reload the application, we can see the name field is um, sorted in the alphabetical order. Why this is happening? Because initially what I am doing is I'm setting the key and the order as name and ascending order. So I'm telling the sort pipe that sort the name field, sort the name column in the ascending order initially, because these two values are passed to the sort pipe, isn't it? So these two values, so the table is sorted according to the values we are passing from here. Okay. So we can see here, initially when I reload the application, it is sorting the name field by default. Okay. Now when I click on the name th, that is the name heading again, it is, we can see it is sorting the whole array of objects in the reverse alphabetical order of the name. C is at last, P is at beginning. The same thing is happening for the username field as well. When I click on the username field, at first it will sort it according to the in the uh, ascending or that is alphabetical order of the username. Okay, again if I click on it, it will sort it in the reverse alphabetical order. Okay, so same thing is happening for everyone. Okay, emails are also getting sorted. Okay, fine. Now what we need to do is I want something like, so when I'm sorting it, I'm unable to, by seeing the table I can say that okay, it is sorted in the ascending order, but I want some indication here. That means some kind of arrows or symbols here that will help us to know whether the table is sorted in which order. Okay, so for that what we'll do is we'll place some up down array here, up down arrow just next to the headers. So beside the name text there will be two arrows. In the same way, two arrows will be there in after the username text, after the phone text and the email text. Okay, so first what we'll do is we'll use some CDN. So For those icons, that is the arrow icons, we'll use Bootstrap icons. So what I'll do is I have already put a CDN here. So this is the CDN for Bootstrap icons. You can get it from the Bootstrap website. Okay, and this, let me show you which icon I want to use. So let's say I go to Bootstrap site in the icons. So you can get the CDN at the end of this everything. Okay, at the end, you after the icons are ending, here you can get this CDN. Okay, this whole CDN, if you copy, that CDN is enough for loading the icons. So I want to use something called a caret. Okay, so I'll use this caret, this one for the down arrow and this one for the up arrow. Okay, so for up arrow, we have this code. This is an icon tag, and we just need to put this class bi caret up fill. Okay, so the same thing I'll do in our project. So where do I want to put it? I have to put it in the table, isn't it? The table header. So in the table header, so after the name, what I'll do is I'll put some icons. So that is two icons. I need to put two icons. So let me copy that from here. I copy that caret up. I'll paste it here, and then I'll have another one caret down field. Okay, because if we go there, the difference is only in the class name, that is bi caret down field. Okay, so that is enough. So now we place this in all the headers. Okay, so just like this. And also for the last field, that is for the email. Okay, fine. So now let's go to our browser so we can see the arrows. Okay, but what I want is I have to disable one of the arrows. Okay, so initially when I reload the application, the name field is name column is sorted in the alphabetical order. So only, so let's say the first arrow will indicate normal alphabetical order, and the down arrow will indicate reverse alphabetical order. That means Z to A. First arrow means A to Z, that means low to high, and the next arrow is high to low, that means Z to A. Okay, so initially what should happen when I load the application, only the first arrow should be shown. That means it is showing that it is sorted in the alphabetical order. If I click it again, the so when I reload the application, the next arrow, that is the high to low, that means Z to A arrow should be hidden or it should be disabled. Some gray colored kind of thing can be done. Okay, we'll use some CSS for that, don't worry. So when I click it again, when I click on the name field again, now it is sorted in the reverse alphabetical order. So that means the first one needs to be disabled, then first icon should be hidden or blurred, and the second arrow should be shown. Okay, so we need some logic for that. So for that, what we'll do is, so let me show you. I will write a CSS style for that. So I have written this. There is a class called opacity. So I just created a class dot opacity, and what I'm doing, opacity 25%. So what is the meaning of opacity 25%? Let me apply this class to one of the icons. Let's say here I applied the opacity class. So we can see the second arrow is gray color. Okay, so we'll do this for all things. Whenever we want to hide one of the arrows, we'll do this. Okay, so we'll not write here like this. We'll conditionally apply the class to the arrows. Okay, fine. Now how do I do that? So we have this key and order, isn't it? So according to this key and order, I'll apply and apply and remove the opacity class on the elements. Okay. So let's say for the first arrow. For the first arrow, what is the condition? For the first time when the application will load, the name and the key is name, order is ascending. Okay. So at that point, I have to show this. I have to show the first arrow, isn't it? And that means I don't need to apply the opacity if the key is name and order is ascending. Okay. So I'll use property binding for that. So here I want to apply the class according to some condition. So let's say the condition is if key equal to name and order equal to ASC. If this condition is true, then don't apply the class opacity. That means don't apply any class. Okay. And if it is false, only then apply the opacity class. So only then I'll apply the opacity class. Okay. So this is the condition, and this is the class that is to be applied if the condition is true, and this is the class to be applied if the condition is false. Okay. So the same thing I have to repeat for all of the things. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. But here what I have to do is, if the key is name and order is descending, because the exact reverse needs to be applied here. So if the order is descending, then don't apply this class, because when the order is descending, it should be displayed. So I'm not applying the opacity class. If it is not descending, then it will be applied. Okay. So the same thing we'll do for the other icons as well, but we'll make the required changes. So if for the next thing is key will be not name, it will be username. Okay. Key is username and order is ascending, then don't apply, otherwise apply. Okay. But where did I put it? Oh, sorry. I should not put it here. I have to put it in the icon. Here. So I applied it in the icon. The same way for the next icon. In the next icon, I should be applying DES. Okay. So I'll repeat it. If the key is phone, order is ascending. If the key is phone, order is descending. Okay. Then for this one, the key is email, order is ascending. For this, key is email and order is descending. Okay. I hope that is fine. So according to the condition, the classes will be applied. Now let's see whether it is working fine or not. So initially what is happening, the name column is sorted in the ascending order. So the first arrow is visible, other arrow is not visible. In the same way, all the other arrows are also not visible or they are disabled. Okay. So now let me click on this name field again. So what has happened? Now the name field has is sorted in the reverse alphabetical order and the arrows are reversed. That means first arrow is disabled and the second arrow is enabled. Now if I click on the username field, the first name arrows are hidden. Now the username is sorted in the ascending order. Again, if I click it, it is sorted in the descending order. If I go to the email field, again email field is sorted. So the first arrow is coming, second arrow is not coming. If I click it again, second arrow is coming, first arrow is not coming. Okay. So this is how what we are doing. We are sorting the table and also conditionally applying some class to show or hide the arrows so that we can tell whether so by seeing this column, I can clearly say that the email column is sorted in the reverse alphabetical order because the arrow is in the down position. Okay, like this it works. Okay, that's it for this session.